Hey guys, and welcome to another Polymer clay tutorial. Today we are going to create the Brite Gunner with his global axe from Fortnite. The Brite Gunner is one of these skins which you can't forget when you have seen them once, and I really fell in love with this crazy design of the character of the skin Brite Gunner, so I was really happy that he was the winner of the last poll. You decided that I should create the Brite Gunner, and we are starting as always with the aluminum wire with the armature. This is the basic, and this is how I always start when creating Fortnite skins. But in this tutorial I will create the head next. So this is new, this is unique for this skin. I decided to go with this posture where he is showing the victory sign with his fingers. At least I think he was showing the victory sign, yeah. Now we are mixing the skin color. I'm using two different kinds of brown and a little bit of pink in order to get a really nice skin color which matches perfectly the images which I used as reference. And this is the head. Well, this is just a bit too much. I'm using my blueprint to get the head in the right shape, and now we can start creating the whole facial expression. And well, this is the nose he has. Compared to the other skins, he has a bit bigger nose, but be careful when you see that a character let's say has big hands. You tend to create the hands way too big. Well, at least this happens to me a lot. So let's say I want to create Mickey Mouse with big ears, so I would create the ears way too big. Yeah. Okay, but now enough of Disney talk. Let's go back to it's not Ubisoft, right? I'm sorry, it's Epic Games, of course, for Fortnite. All these game studios have always these legendary epic names. Have you noticed that before? Well, just give it a thought. This will be the iris, and I used this technique before. So it has black for the inside, for the iris, and brown as coating. And this is really tiny, and now we are adding even some more tiny details, the shiny effect in the eyes, which makes the character alive. And now we are adding some of the eyelids. And I think, well, I posted this image on Instagram on my ClayClaim account. I asked you if I screwed up on the eye. I think the right eye is a bit too much closed. Yeah. Well, now that we added the black, let's call it base layer for the hair, we are creating his locks. Well, is it called locks? I think so, right? I'm using brown as the first layer, and after that I go with the yellow ochre. And I think it matches the character, the Brite Gunner from the game, very close. I wouldn't go so far and say I'm matching it perfectly, but well, let's go into the oven. Freshly baked head of the nice guy, of the Brite Gunner. And now all we have to do is use my hand drill, make a tiny hole, and stick it right onto the wire. Yeah, and now we are mixing the main color for this skin, and I wasn't really sure about it, as well in Fortnite the problem about the images is that there are always different lighting circumstances and conditions. Sometimes the light is a bit yeah, red when the sun is going down. Sometimes it's a bit blue. And this is why it is always so difficult to find the right colors. But I think this gray matches perfectly the main color of this skin. Yeah, just chopping away some of the clay. And on the feet, well, we will use some black for the shoes, for his boots afterwards. But first, let's focus on the, well, it is the base layer. Yeah, my last Fortnite video was the Tilted Towers, the scenery I created. And thank you so much, guys. I really wanted to thank you all for your nice comments, for all your likes and for the support. I haven't expected that this video would go that viral and that you would like it so much. Well, it was really difficult to create, and it took some time to create, and I even forgot some of the buildings. There's one building on one of the hills, and this is what I told also in the video. I didn't create the tiny crater which destroyed one of the buildings. I think it's the office building. Yes, I missed some of the details. I have thought about making a second video where I will fix all the wrong parts. Yeah, this is the pattern on the not only on the trousers but all on this suit, and I just used this tool. It's a piece of one of my screwdrivers. Okay, now we are ready to go into the oven to get a freshly baked suit. The base layer. His left arm is naked, yeah, because probably he was wounded while fighting, so the suit, the shirt ripped off, and this is why we will create the destroyed suit in a minute, but for now we will also create the glove. And he's wearing two different kinds of gloves. For his left hand, the destroyed arm one, it is this one, this piece, it's a pink glove, and for the other hand will be a gray glove. Okay, just change the thumb again, and this yellow stripe, which he is wearing on his arm. And this is also pretty characteristic to all the Fortnite creations, all these bendings. Now, this is the destroyed detail for the suit. I used my scalpel for this detail. And now we can work on the belts. He is wearing two belts. This is the blue one and the black one. And the black one has also this pink belt buckle containing of different similar parts, many parts. And this will be his shirt, and also this one is ripped and destroyed at the bottom part, so we are creating these tiny cracks on the shirt. And I think I made a mistake while creating this skin. I should have made the torso a bit longer. Well, you still see the breast muscles and they are a bit too low. It really looks a bit awkward. Yeah, but I realized that after oven hardening, and then it was a problem to fix it and to do it again. Now we mixed this purple, and this is for all the armor. And he's wearing different parts of armor. One on his right shoulder and right arm, and one on his left leg. And this piece is also fixed to the leg with these black stripes. And there's an outline, a purple, a pink outline on all of these armor parts. And after oven hardening, we will also use my transparent polish to make these parts very shiny. Now let's cut away the testing boots. Well, this was just clay I used for fixing the creation on the plate for oven hardening. But now we are working on the real boots, on the black boots. And they are all pretty much the same on all the Fortnite skins. I realized that while creating that they all look very similar. Well, not in the Leviathan tutorial. This one looks more like moon boots. Now this is the sole of the shoes. Just using a thin layer of black clay for that. And some more armor parts, that the boots are protected in all the fights, in all the Fortnite fights. Cutting away some of the blue clay. Yeah. Well, as always, I am really looking forward to know who will be the winner of the next poll. So, I really want to create another skin, another Fortnite skin. Please participate in this poll and let me know which skin should be created next on my channel. Now we are creating the X, the global X, and I'm using some paper clips as well as this. This harvesting tool was a struggle to create. Because all these tiny planets are standing right up and are fixed on these tiny wires. But I think I found a great solution to create this X, and here we go. I'm showing you how I created the global X from the Brite Gunner. I think it is from the Brite Gunner, right? Is it unique to him? I'm not sure about that. So I'm just sticking these paperclip pieces into the clay of the wooden stick, and this will be the connection part where we will attach the globe after oven hardening, and we can put this piece onto the plate. Just some more wooden details. And now some further details. This is all the structure, I mean the holder part for the globe, and this is only made possible with a very strong super glue I'm using after oven hardening. So this bright gray, I think this is the moon, or at least it looks like a moon. This is the last planet. Well, the moon isn't really a planet, but it looks like that. 4 of them, and the big blue ball, this will be the globe. And guys, I hope you don't mind, I didn't create the real globe. I just added some clay, some white clay for the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, and some green and ochre for all the continents. And I think it looks nice, it looks somehow realistic. And now this is the last part we have to create with clay. This is the backpack. Let's call it the schoolgirl backpack, because I don't think a guy would wear something like that in school unless he wants to be beaten a lot, very hard in the face. Oh, I forgot this bright pink as the layer under the outline. And here we go. Now we can create the black outline, and after oven hardening we will glue some print. I made some printings from the game with all the unicorn and the stars and all the printings. Well, I didn't want to create it with clay, so I was a bit lazy here. And this is the tiny rabbit. I love this guy. Somehow reminds me of the tiny rabbit I created in the Mega Knight tutorial from Fortnite. attaching it to the side of the backpack, and we're ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked Brite Gunner and his global axe and the backpack. But for now we will focus on the global axe first, and I show you how to assemble this axe, this harvesting tool. Yeah, I know, I'm saying harvesting tool, and I read some comments. Dude, we're just calling it axe. Okay, I'm okay with that. So, make tiny holes, and I'm filling in some super glue, and I'm sticking it right onto the wire from the paper clips. It wouldn't work with the aluminum wire as it is too soft, so you have to use a very strong wire, and this can be found in paper clips, for example. You remember all these many paper clips I use for all the skeleton army from Clash Royale. I loved to use this material. This is the last working step for the axe, and now we will work on the backpack. This is the image I printed out. I'm using the scalpel for all the cutting work. This was tricky. And I forgot 2 tiny stars. Well, actually it is 1.5 stars. Just some glue on the paper in order to get it right onto these tiny pieces. And we are gluing it onto the backpack. Well, just cutting away some of the paper that it isn't covering the outline, the black outline we created before. Coloring the white places. Okay, it looks great, I think. I would wear that. And this is my white pen for the clouds, because, well, you find this image very fast on Google, and there are no clouds, so I had to draw them. And we are gluing this cute teddy bear with the weapons right on top. And this is the last working step. I'm using the transparent polish for the armor parts, I told you before, also for the leg protection. Here we go, for the other side, the belt buckle. It is always a good idea to use the polish on the belt buckle as well, and on the globe and the planets. And, well, guys, I guess, finally, that's it! The Brite Gunner! Guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of the Brite Gunner with the global axe. Very complex tutorial, but I really like the end result. Please let me know what you think and write it down in the comments. I guess that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. See you next week. Bye. Yeah, I am the Brite Gunner. Brite Gunner.